NYYST. This is New York. Yankee sports talk. Swinging for the fences, knock it out the park. This is New York. Yankee sports talk. Christian and Chris, of course, SGR. This is New York. Yankee sports talk. Call me New York. Yankee sports talk. Record, rain or shine. Grab your shades and umbrellas. NYYST. You're hanging with the fellas.
Welcome back. This is episode 370 of the NYYST podcast. We are live on NYY Underground. I am your host, Christian, as always, joined by my co-host, Chris.
You.
And SGR.
Okay. Wait a second. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, happy belated happy birthday. Thanks, to SGR.
Yeah,
okay.
Man.
Thank you.
Somebody
32.
taught me that you don't say happy belated birthday because your birthday is not belated. Just me wishing you a happy birthday is belated.
So what is it? What is the proper?
Belated. It's a belated happy birthday.
Okay.
Sounds
the
ridiculous.
the wish is belated, not the
Was
birthday.
this did someone
Belated happy
actually correct you when you were trying to wish them a happy birthday?
Yes, and it does make sense. It is grammatically correct to say belated.
Must be
happy
someone you
birthday.
love. Must be someone you love that you
No,
were,
actually, he was
that
a
you're
former.
defending him.
It was a former coworker of mine that I had respect for. So
Ooh.
okay, unlike you, who I had no respect for.
Okay, deal.
Okay. It's a dawn of a new day here on the NYYST podcast. You want to break the big news right now? Just
Yeah. Let's get it out of the way. We're gonna need some favors from our viewers, which I'm sure we'll repeatedly ask for.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
last week we teased a big announcement, and we are very happy and excited to announce that we are now on Odyssey. We are the only backed, supported, and promoted Yankee podcast on Odyssey, the parent company of WFAN. We have partnered with them. So we'll be on there going forward. We are not, just so everybody knows, we're not leaving NYY Underground. We're doing this in conjunction with NYY Underground. This is going to be exclusively for audio. So if you're watching us on NYYU, you can still watch us here on NYYU. If you've been listening audio, Apple Podcast, Spotify, you can still get us through those apps, but we were now being backed by Odyssey. So that is the big announcement. We've been waiting. It's been a long time for an opportunity like this, and we're very excited. And I actually wanted to just thank everybody, the NYY community, our longtime fans and listeners, because without you guys, we wouldn't have been afforded this opportunity. So I want to say thank you right off the bat here.
Yeah, thank you to Pete, especially Jira, everyone behind the scenes here. Definitely put us. We started this in 2017. We were fortunate enough to have some big names on in the first few years, and then everyone realized what 3 jerk-offs we are.
Mhm.
So we stopped doing a lot of guests, but
Yeah.
Pete put us back on the map, man. Like we say all the time, we were going to close up shop, and it got us this opportunity. And it's going to be, like Christian said, we're not leaving here at all. That was part of our terms in the contract, was that we're not leaving NYYU. And we're going to, once the season starts, we'll have some extra episodes coming that will only be audio. So make sure, if you are watching right now, if you could do this for us, please go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you might listen to shows, and subscribe and follow our show as well.
Okay, Ryan.
Oh, what?
I mean, again, let's keep adding on to Pete for giving us this, opportunity to take it to the next level. I think he gave us that outlet, and we've kind of gone on to go up to another level here. And I'm excited for this next part. Thanks for everyone who is constantly in the chat. Everybody that's always chiming in, watching us. We really appreciate it. I mean, we're just three huge fans of the Yankees that love talking baseball. Chris is my brother. Christian and Chris
different
were
mom.
Same mother. Christian and Chris are friends, but now I consider Christian to be, one of my closest friends, and I look forward to doing this with you fellas for the future here.
Absolutely, man. This is just the beginning of the next chapter of this podcast, and I'm excited. We've been building towards this for the last couple of years here, and This isn't, oh, Pete's the boss. You got to kiss his. I don't have to kiss anybody's ass. Okay. I say
Okay.
this because it's genuine.
Yeah.
This show was dead and buried. One man wanted to keep it going, and that's Pete. And because of that, we've been able to take this to the next level. So, Pete's hard work and determination and his vision for NYYU has allowed us this opportunity. So, from the bottom of my heart, we have to thank Pete. We thank all the fans that have supported us from day one. I apparently there's another Patrick from Ireland. Thank you for your support,
Yes.
but you're not the guy that we were talking about last week. I
That's
mean,
funny,
you
man.
even have to? Did you even have to ask? Like, come on, bro.
Huh.
It's okay, dude.
Appreciate the support, but come on now.
I'll take as many Patricks from Ireland
That's true.
that we can get.
We doubled
But
our
there-
Patrick audience.
Unfortunately for you, there's only one OG. And that's it.
That's fair. It's a fair point.
So when we say now, hit the like, you're in the chat, anybody live tonight, in the NYY Underground, hit the like button, subscribe to NYYU, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And now you're going to go outside, you're going to tell your friends, you're going to say, hey, the fellas, NYYST, they're on Odyssey, the only Odyssey promoted and supported Yankee podcast. Okay. So
Okay.
it's a
And you
pretty
should
big
hear us. I don't know how this is going to go, but if you listen to WFAN, if you listen to the sports talk shows, our show is going to be teased on there as well, which is pretty
Okay.
awesome.
So we're excited for this opportunity, and we're excited for where this is not only going to take our podcast, but NYYU as a entity in total here, because the event on April 20th, rescheduled NYYU Day, is sold out. Okay, no tickets are left available, and that's all thanks to you guys, the incredible community that we have built here in the underground. You guys have sold out the Audi Club again, and the Yankees take notice of that. They know that when NYYU holds something at the Yankee Stadium, those tickets are not going to last. They take notice of that. Everybody's taking notice of what's happening around here. So we thank everybody for their continued support here. And if you're in the chat, Pete's got the number pinned. Let's get some voicemails in. We'll get to them towards the end of the show. We want to hear from you guys, what your takes are on certain things. We got a full show tonight, so let's just jump right into it now that we got the big news out of the way. We're still waiting on some big news, and that's where the reigning NL Cy Young Award winner is going to sign. And now I know I've been on this train that the Yankees and Snell are going to come back together. For some reason now, my thoughts have changed on that. I think that ship has sailed now, that Snell is no longer coming to the Bronx, and I'm okay with that. I think the Yankees know that they still might need starting pitching. I think they'll be active in the trade market towards the deadline, but it's now, you're listening, it's February. We're live tonight. It's February 29th, Leap Day. Okay, Leap Day. Okay, but
okay, leap year. Okay.
most people, a lot of people are going to be hearing this on March 1st. Now we're 2.5 weeks into camp here. The guy's not in camp. At some point as a team, you got to kind of say, okay, he's not coming. Let's move forward with what we got. Plus, now you're hearing rumors that because Cody Bellinger signed over the weekend, I believe. He got 3 years, $80 million from the Cubs, opt-outs after each year. It's going to be 30, 30, and 20. He's not, obviously, if he's playing well, he's never going to get to that third year. But that Snell is open to that similar type deal. The problem with that is that type of deal doesn't really benefit the Yankees, and the Yankees are looking for at least a multi-year commitment from Snell, because they will be losing 2 draft picks and international slut money for signing Blake Snell. So because of that, the Yankees want to have some sort of commitment here, not let him fly out the door after 1 year. And, are the Dodgers lurking? You hear because of that type of deal that he might be interested in, that Snell's interested in staying on the West Coast. The Angels might be a team that you look out for, because Mike Trout's pushing them to do some things. I just think now that we're here, it's March 1st. As much as I'd like Snell to be here, I don't see it happening right now.
Usually when Jack Curry either backs something or shits on something, you can count on him. And he more than shat on the idea that Blake Snell
So
is
he
coming
didn't
to New
just
York.
shit on Blake Snell coming to the Yankees. He took a Jurassic Park dinosaur shit on the
wow.
Yankees
That's a
big
coming to
dump.
to
Oh,
Blake
boy.
Snell coming to the Yankees.
To the
Yeah.
Garys.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
and then
it is what it is.
don't forget about the luxury, the Cohen tax too. I think they're already over that. So any additional spending there will bump them up, and that's what, like a
So a $30 million
tax percentage.
contract would be like $62 million paid out this year for the Yankees. But
Yeah,
I think
don't know.
it's more that they don't, if they're going to lose the draft picks, they want him here for a few years. And I
Right.
think, and honestly, you know, we're all in on 2024. We're all in on that. But the Yankees as an organization, I understand where they're coming from. Hey, we're losing 2 draft picks. We can't do that on a guy that's going to fly out the door at the end of the year.
Hey, I got to be honest with you about something. If Stroman didn't have the mentality he has now and this side of himself that he's showing us, I'd probably still be sitting here saying they need to go out and get Snell or they need to give me someone. But because Stroman has showed up and has said all the right things, seems to be laser focused on winning, and hopefully is going to stay healthy, it gives me a different outlook on this rotation with or without Snell. I'm way more confident than when I just heard the name that Marcus Stroman was coming over. Like, I was skeptical of a lot of things, but right now I feel so much better about this rotation given what Marcus Stroman has said and done so far this spring.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Stroman has presented himself nicely. We got a super chat here from our boy Rich Squires, member of the U for 6 months. He says, I'm done with the whole Snell stuff. If Snell wanted to be here, he would have signed already. Now he wouldn't be ready for opening day.
And that's something else that you have to look at. If he comes into camp now, when's he going to be available to pitch?
Great point, Rich. That's a great point, because now at this point, it's we're here. We're in the middle of games. There's a game on right now. Yankees still at 0 apiece in the 9th inning, 2 outs. Will they send this one in a tie?
Here's my only rebuttal to that. Has Garrett Cole pitched any spring training games yet?
Doesn't matter. He's in camp.
But he's in camp, Chris.
So
Getting the body ready.
But do you think that Blake Snell's not doing the same things that these guys are doing?
There is stuff out there, but it's not the same.
I agree.
I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same.
I agree. It's not the same thing in theory, but what I'm saying is it doesn't mean Snell wouldn't be ready by opening day as of right now. Now, you want to talk to me in a week from now? Now we're starting to really hit that line.
And Cole's on a program, getting himself built up with the team, watching everything that he's doing. We don't know. He's going to come in here a week from now, and the Yankee, especially with the Yankees.
It would just feel better. It would feel better if he was here, if he's going to be part of this team.
To me, the Snell ship has sailed now.
Sailed.
It is sailed. And I'm okay. And I can't believe I'm saying this. I'd still be ecstatic if it broke while we were on air here that he signed with the Yankees. I'd be ecstatic and I'd be ready to run through a wall, but I don't know what it is, man. And you and I argued about this before we came on the show. I don't want to get lost in this argument on the show because I got a lot of stuff I want to get to with the whole Trevor Bauer thing, right? And I said to you, everybody's talking about the vibes right now. The vibes. There's this different air around the Yankees right now. Why do you want to put that into this clubhouse? Right? So the vibes. Why, like now it's like, okay, these are the guys that are here. It's March 1st. This guy not only had all winter, we gave him 2.5 weeks of spring training to sign. He's still not here. The Yankees gave him a friggin' contract. His agent, maybe on his own doing, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but the agent works for the player, right?
It should.
Nobody made a counteroffer to the Yankees. So how, that's where I'm at right now. The vibes. This is my team. These are my 26 guys. And if we need somebody at the trade deadline, I really believe the Yankees are going to be active at the trade deadline.
Yeah, fair enough. I always like going into a season feeling all warm and cozy inside. And I think I have enough of that right now like I said, with what Stroman has said and how he's handled himself so far, to say I'm okay with waiting until the trade deadline for that to happen.
Yeah, I think too, watching spring training, even today, just watching Beater, you're seeing that the depth that they have, where it just seems like, I mean, I think last year the average team, I don't know what it was. It was a crazy number. It was a lot more than 5 starters that started games for the team. So, if guys like Beater, man, he looked sharp.
Really
he looked
good.
sharp. His control is going to be a
looked
problem.
good.
But
Yeah,
I like
his
the zip.
fastball looked good.
His fastball zip, and then it's just his cadence, I think is the right word, where he just looked, his demeanor on the mound was very professional. So
I
feel
25.
like that. Yeah, like that. They got some young depth where if they aren't able to acquire a guy like Snell, at least seeing these guys now in spring training kind of gives you that optimistic feeling again.
Yeah, there's a different vibe around this team right now, and I'm with it, honestly. Like I don't know, maybe it's the desperation that we haven't won since 2009, but nobody follows this team closer than we do. I feel like we're really plugged into what is going on with this organization, and I just feel like there's been, yeah, Boone's still here, yeah, Cashman's still here, but I feel like there's been a black cloud over this organization, over this team over the last couple of years, and I don't feel that right now.
Yeah, for the first time in a long time.
You know what, too? It seems like they haven't been playing with something to prove in a little while, and it feels like again this year they are playing to prove something. That
well,
a big part of
that is that this team hasn't held themselves accountable. It feels like for anything.
Yeah, that's a huge part of it.
And the second they do, and the second they're saying that, that's why you get that feeling, and that's part of why we've been so frustrated, right?
That's such a big part of it, man. The accountability factor that you've seen so far in camp has been evident.
Well, right.
And
That's what we go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, I was saying that's what we've been talking about for a couple of weeks now. Is that since the Yankees have reported, we always say words are words, but these are different words than we've been hearing out of this organization for the last couple of years. And they're finally owning up to some of the things that have gone wrong around here. And and when your best players are saying things like nothing else matters than winning a championship. I was brought here to win a title. We haven't done that. The owner, and I'm embarrassed of what happened last year. The GM, we have to win now. We can chapter and verse. We can go over it again 100 times, but these are things that you have not heard out of this organization for the last.
No, you have heard out of this organization, striking out 20 times in one game and going, I think we put up a pretty good fight. Those are the things we've been used to.
Yeah,
it goes beyond what has happened on the field, and a lot goes into what we've heard that tacks on to that frustration, man.
Yeah. And I know they haven't played a game yet, but FL Diver JC kind of makes a good point in our chat, saying that they're playing like a team. It does feel more like they're a team right now than just good individuals on the Yankees. You know what I'm saying?
I want to read this.
Can I get to the super chat?
I want.
That's
what
that's what you want to go for it.
Our boy Old Sarge with the super chat. Congrats, fellas. Said before, been listening since the beginning, and this is well deserved. Chris, are you bringing the douche whistle to Odyssey?
Sarge, when this runs out, dude, that's it for me.
That's it.
It could happen mid-show right now. It could happen mid-show. So you might be witnessing the final hit of the douche whistle.
The final whistle.
And I'll sign it.
Sign it and send it.
Old Sarge I didn't realize Old Sarge is one of the OGs, but thank you for being with us from the beginning, man. It's people like you. It's people like you. It's the reason why we're still here today. So thank you.
Absolutely.
And I just want to say this real quick, and I
Sean Fitzpatrick says you need to quit.
I'm gonna quit, dude. This is my last one. He's 2 weeks in, dude.
All right, that boy, Sean.
Good for you, Shawnee.
Good job, Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. So I said this to you guys, like almost every player you can think of, there's just something to be excited about, right? Mm-hmm. Like Aaron Judge, freak injury last year. He's coming back. He's still in his prime. He's going to be filthy with Soto in this lineup, right? You got Juan Soto. How could you not be excited about that? You got fucking Verdugo, man. People are sleeping on this pickup a little bit too much. Verdugo is going to be a great addition to this lineup. You got Rizzo not concussed anymore. You got a full season of Wells behind the plate. You got Garrett Cole coming off of the best season a Yankee pitcher has had in however what was it 1979, 78, 79?
78.
I mean, Torres on a contract year. You got Volpe in his first season after adjusting last year.
Yeah, a lot of good.
There's
positive stories.
there's just so many good stories right now. You got Stroman hopefully coming in and being that workhorse again that he used to be.
Rizzo
All right,
healthy.
DJ Steele with the super chat says, Chris, don't worry, I'll get you another douche whistle.
Wow. Thanks, DJ.
Yeah, on 420 though, so it might not be the kind of douche whistle.
Oh,
that
yeah, it might be a
used to.
different-
It might be
might be a
little
different
bit
one,
of,
okay?
spike douche whistle.
Shit.
A little bit of that.
So, yeah, the reason why, I shouldn't say the reason why, a reason why that you might feel like the Yankees don't need Snell as desperately as maybe you thought is Carlos Rodon, who made his spring debut on Sunday. I said a couple weeks ago that when he starts, you're going to pay a little bit more attention to it than you would a normal spring training start. So I know that we were all pretty locked in watching the game. We were texting back and forth. Takeaways. What's there to really take away? Did he look healthy? I get it. To me, he kind of did. He was up in the zone a little bit, but are you going to really make that big of a deal about it on his first spring start? I know you go on Twitter and people are like, see, he's up in the zone, he sucks, blah, blah. The velocity was there. He was hitting around 97 most of the time. So
now, you know what I really liked about Rhodon? And again, like you said, first spring training start, you're not going to put too much behind it. These guys like Rhodon are going out there and making sure their mechanics are in. Obviously, Rhodon knows he has a little bit more to prove than anyone else. So he's taken a lot into consideration every time he steps on the mound, even in spring training. But his velocity was there. That's the first thing you're looking at. And the second thing you're looking at is how well is he keeping guys off balance. Now, his control is a little all over the place, especially after that first inning. But when he had it, he was keeping guys really off balance. Like, he looked pretty filthy when he would go from that 95, 96 mile per hour fastball to an off-speed pitch and get it into the zone. He looked pretty good. So for
Yankee King with the super chat area, he says the Yankees rotation is getting slept on, all caps. It's good. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing that it's good, but it's also filled with question marks. That's kind of what we've been wanting to eliminate in the offseason here. But you know, it is a good rotation. I don't think you can look at that 1 through 5 and say that there's really a bad pitcher in this rotation.
Agreed.
No, I also think it might be getting slept on in a way because last year was overhyped going into the season. There was a lot of graphics and stuff saying how lethal this rotation was going to be, and it totally didn't pan out that way. So that's probably playing a part of it too. Yeah.
True or false? Nestor Cortez is the weak link of this rotation.
True.
Oh, it's tough, man. It's tough because I hate not giving him at least the benefit of the doubt here. Like, you know who he is to me? He's maybe not anymore since he just made it to the Super Bowl, but he's like the Brock Purdy of baseball right now to me. Like, when the Niners went on a lull this year, like, he started off hot again. He was how many regular season games undefeated? And then he went like 3 games where he looked like shit, and everyone's like, see, Purdy fucking sucks.
Right. It's like you're constantly waiting for the shoe to drop on those
always.
guys.
And Nestor's the same way. The guy had such a great season. Then he comes back after all those innings, and it's like, I don't want to just sit here and say he can't come back and be nasty again just yet. But
no,
we talked about reliability. We talked about consistency. I don't think it's so much his talent as much as it is, can he be relied upon to take that workload of a full season and still
rank him
be
1 through
effective?
5 of who you trust the most. Isn't it? Nestor's the 5th. Nestor's 5.
I think
Nestor's
he's 4
5.
for me.
No.
I think I still have to put him above Clark Schmidt, man.
Who's 2 though? Is Stroman 2?
No, Rodon.
I'm going. I think I would say
honestly,
right now I'm going Stroman.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree. In terms of trust factor,
Just who I trust right now, I would go with Cole, Stroman.
Really? That's scary to me.
And then who are then you got what? Rhodon, Schmidt, Nestor.
The only reason why you would
I would go that order.
The only reason I'm taking Schmidt is because he was healthy last year and made 30 whatever starts.
Fair enough.
He made.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
Yankees tied, by the way. They tied 0-0.
Would you Okay, so you put Stroman second right now, but it wouldn't surprise you, right, that Rhodon could easily become number 2 after a month or two of the season.
Absolutely.
No, it wouldn't surprise me.
He should
Right.
be.
Okay.
Here's the one thing I'll say about Rhodon that I didn't love in his start, because do you guys remember that graphic that someone posted a side by side of a White Sox start and a Yankee start, how his back was kind of more fluid and able to, it was all more one motion. It still seemed like his back was still a little bit stiff compared to what he looked like with Chicago. So I'm still a little worried about him, man.
Johnny Lasagna in our group chat on Twitter posted highlights of him in San Francisco when he was just rearing back and gassing guys with 97.
It was San Francisco, actually, that I'm thinking of too.
Gassing guys with 99. And I said, if that back is not right, he's not going to have 99. And that's what because even if you look at those videos where he was gassing dudes with 99, the location is not great. He just overpowered them with the fastball.
Just throwing.
So he cannot if that back is going to be a problem, we could be looking at a serious situation with Carlos Rodon, because he's not going to be able to reach back and get that little extra oomph on that fastball.
Right.
Because you say, a major league hitter can hit 99. Sure he can, but when you are rearing back to get 99 and you are saying, fuck you, you can't hit this, that's a different animal. He was doing that in San Francisco. We haven't seen him yet do that with the Yankees, and we don't know, because of the back, if he can.
A few points real quick. One, the back is scary. It's always been what has made me hesitant to be all in on Rizzo, and that he can be the guy we need him to be, because he has those back issues and they always come fucking rearing back, and it sucks. Yeah, back. The second thing is, it's early in spring right now. There's a difference if he's favoring it and if he's trying to work things into it. That's another factor. If he's favoring his back and he's not following through on pitches, if that's going to continue all season, he's going to continue to leave the ball up in the zone. I don't care if he's throwing a fucking 105, he's going to get rocked, and it's going to be a problem with his mechanics and with his consistency. But overall, for me, you also have to take into account that Matt Blake worked with him, and apparently he was showing a lot of the ball over the last couple of years.
Apparently a lot of guys are showing a lot of the ball with the new pants in the Major League Baseball.
Yeah, okay. Got a couple balls, couple balls.
2 balls.
But a lot of people in the chat are saying that he wasn't going full bore in his start. Yeah, okay, I understand that.
Yeah, no,
I'm not really expecting him to. I'm just saying, if the back is an issue, he's not going to be able to reach back for 99 in a big spot, and that can be a problem for the Yankees.
But if his back is stiff, it doesn't matter if he's going 80% or 100%. You still, your goal in spring training is to go through your mechanics, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be pumping 99. But if his mechanics are going to be not to have a stiffer back, that could be an issue. But we'll see.
Ball dipping. Wait, that was old Sarge just made that reference.
Yeah. I've said that a couple times, and that's become a thing, a little ball dipping.
Yeah, a little ball
dip his balls right in the fucking drink.
Okay. So before we move along here, Kike Hernandez re-signed with the Dodgers earlier this week, and you're saying, what are you bringing that up for? Well, because Kike Hernandez was on the Foul Territory show today and said that he had an offer on the table from the Yankees, and he had to decide between going to New York or going back to the Dodgers. And obviously he chose the Dodgers. Number one, I didn't even realize the Yankees were in on Kike Hernandez. I mean, we know that they've been trying to get everybody, every utility player under the friggin' sun this offseason, but I didn't hear any connection there. But the interesting thing that he said that was, well, there was 2 reasons why he chose the Dodgers. And it's Kike Hernandez. I mean, we're not going to make a big deal over this, except for this one point that I'm going to make after I give his reasons. One, he said it's late in spring, and he's already close to Arizona, LA, whatever, and he didn't want to fly his family across the country, go to Florida, go to New York, fine, whatever. And the other thing that he said is that the Yankees made no promises of playing time, whereas the Dodgers basically said that he would be starting against left-handed pitching. So that's why he chose the Dodgers. Fine. It's Kike Hernandez. You're not going to cry over it. It's not a big deal. But why are the Yankees so dead set on getting another utility guy on this team when they have Oswaldo Cabrera, they have Oswald Peraza. They've been connected to every friggin' utility. And Kiki Hernandez is a very valuable guy because the only position he didn't play last year, catcher.
Wow.
And then we got Jeff J with the super chat here real quick. What's up, fam? I'm heading out to dinner with my wife. So I'll just share this. The Yanks are looking good. I think we should leave the roster alone and trade for a pitcher before the deadline. See you on 420. All right, Jeff, we'll see you.
Does he live on the West Coast, or is he going out for a late din?
I don't know. Maybe he works late. You don't
Good
know.
question,
Okay.
but probably
Jeff
late
J.
night. Late
Jeff
night
J.
J.
Late night din.
So the Yankees just signed Jordan Groshans, right? Guess what? They released him, DFA'd.
Okay.
Picked up
Okay.
another utility guy. From Milwaukee. Maybe somebody in the chat can tell me what his name is. Honest, I'm not ashamed to say this. I have never heard of him before. But the Yankees have been playing musical chairs with utility guys, waiver claims, utility guys, all spring training. Jeff says he's from the Bay Area.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Got it. Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Okay.
Thanks for clearing it up.
Jemai Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's claimed from
This is from
Brewers.
let's just do Ra's super chat real quick. Ross says, in the order of importance, who has the most pressure on them? Boone, Volpe, or Rhodon? It's an interesting question. You want to table that for 1 second? Let's table
Yeah,
that.
let's
All right,
table
yeah,
that. That's a great
down the
question,
table,
dude. Rod, you're the
save it
man.
for
Thank you to
dessert.
everyone with the super chats.
Yeah.
The Yankees they were connected to Gio, and then Gio went to Detroit of all places on a really
Yeah.
cheap deal, $1.5 million. Like I said, they've been playing musical chairs with these waiver claim utility guys. Did Oswald Peraza do something to insult Brian Cashman?
Who was the last Peraza before Peraza?
And
Andujar?
I guess Andujar.
Yeah,
right?
he's like the new Andujar, dude.
And I get it. Cabrera didn't hit last year, so maybe that's why the Yankees aren't as high on him. But in a situation where you are up against that Cohen tax, and you have two very capable guys defensively, at least.
Beyond capable, Peraza's could be an elite
Guys are
defender.
saying Florial in the chat. Florial, yeah, I guess Florial's another
Florial,
one.
yep. Florial's up there.
But what is it with these guys? Why are we looking for outside help in a utility position? Because you know what's going to happen, right? The Yankees are going to. You want to say the Yankees don't want to stick Peraza on the bench where he can play 2 or 3 times a week because it'll ruin his value. They're ruining his value. What's going to happen if he goes down in Scranton? He's going to hit. He hits 300 in Scranton. We know he can do that. What's that going to do for anybody?
I want everyone to take note. This doesn't happen often. But I'm going to give the Yankees the benefit of the doubt here.
Jemai Jones. He won't be around much longer, says Craig. I believe you. He won't be around much longer because somebody else is going to get released in camp, and Brian Cashman will pick him up too.
Correct. This doesn't happen often. I'm going to give this front office the benefit of the doubt right now.
Jorge Vivas is the guy that Hirsch said could be the utility
I like
guy.
Vivas. He's good.
He's the guy they got from L.A. I mean,
LA.
yeah, that's definitely a possibility too.
And he looks like he's hitting the ball. But here's what I'm going to say. I think for the first time ever, they're treating a player like this for a good reason. I think they want Peraza to absolutely kill it in the minor leagues. They don't want him to be up here only getting at bats every other day where he gets stale, looks like he can't handle MLB pitching. I think they want him to kill it because, like we talked about at the open of the show, their plans are going
Dane
to
is
be to
saying
make.
Vivas can't play shortstop. So I mean that could be
whatever.
a problem.
I think they are planning and anticipating on making a huge splash at the trade deadline, and Peraza could be the guy that headlines a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Why?
I don't think he's in that discussion anymore. Being
What
the
if
guy
he's
that
batting?
headlines a
What if
deal.
he's batting 330 in the minors?
It does. The Yankees are treating him this way for a reason. You mean to tell me that if the Yankees thought he was this good, he can't play third base every day?
Well, they're committed to DJ.
Why can't DJ be the utility guy? Injured, old, slow. Why shouldn't
Smarter Yankees.
There you go.
Smarter Yankees. So you tell me.
If the Yankees thought he was that good, then he would be up here.
Why is it that I try and be optimistic about this team for once? Every other time I'm negative, you have to fight me, right? You have to give me all the reasons why I shouldn't feel that way. And the one time, you have to fucking shit on my parade.
I'm sorry, but that's just the way I feel.
Good. I like this side of you. I like this. I like bringing out this side of you. Maybe I will be more positive from now on so I can hear you actually say the things that you should be saying. And I'll be the positive one.
Did somebody just call him Slade Heathcott in the chat?
Slade fucking Heathcott.
Oh my god!
Holy shit! What a drop!
Oh wow!
Wow.
So yeah, man, that's the only reason why we're bringing up Kike Hernandez is because what did Oswald Peraza do to the Yankees? What did he do to them?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It would
So
just seem so simple.
Yeah. So it seems like they might still be interested in some available free agents. One that's kind of standing out on this list here is Donovan Solano. He's a former I think he was drafted by the Yanks, or he was in the Yankee system at one point. He is an infield outfield type guy, but hasn't played the outfield since 2012. Then you have Elvis Andrus, Jonathan Scope, who've only been infielders in their career. Then you have Tommy Pham, Adam Duvall, or Michael Taylor, who can help you out in the outfield, but not.
I think the
infield.
Yankees tried to get Tommy Pham last year at the deadline, but the Mets, because the Mets are the Mets, they said no.
Yeah, right.
I have a question. If the Yankees were so hell bent on getting a good utility guy, why didn't they make more of a push for IKF? Too expensive?
No,
maybe he wanted that guarantee of a starting type of role, similar to Kike.
Maybe, but like, wasn't if you could say anything good about IKF, it was that you had respect for the guy to go to any position.
But aren't you glad that he's not here?
That's part of the reason why I brought it up. Someone said Ref Snyder.
Yeah, Ref Snyder.
And it made me think, because Ref Snyder, it brought me back to how I felt about IKF. It was just like, I respect the hell out of IKF, man. He did everything this team needed him to, and he did it well. Like, he played any position
he's a good ball player. He's a guy that you want on a winning team. It's just that.
But you're right. I feel like almost a relief. Like, I'm past that. I'm glad they don't have him.
Let's get all that bad juju from the Josh Donaldson trade out of here.
Yeah.
Let's just move on from all of that. And it's nothing it's nothing really against IKF either.
More against Josh Donaldson for sure. If you were in the same breath as Josh Donaldson in a trade, we want you gone.
Right. So
okay.
So we brought up the Mets a minutes, a minute or so ago here.
Okay.
So Juan Soto is a New York Yankee. In case you've been living under a rock for the last.
I thought I saw a few thousand pictures of him in a Mets jersey.
Yeah, Juan Soto is a Yankee, and the other thing that you have to remember, guys, it's very important that you remember this, is that he's a free agent at the end of the year. Free agent at the end of the year. Very important that you remember that Juan Soto is not contractually bound to the New York Yankees past the 2024 season. Juan Soto has not officially made his Yankee debut yet, and by that I mean like he has not played in a regular season game for this club. Can we enjoy as fans, as Yankee fans, are we allowed to enjoy the fact that we have a generational talent on this team that is going to be batting either in front or behind the best player in Major League Baseball? Are we allowed to enjoy that? Or do we have to have this shoved up our ass every single friggin' day? He's a free agent at the end of the year. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He's a free agent at the end of the year. Thanks. I got it. It's not something there doesn't need to be a story about it every day. All these beat writers are tripping over each other every single day to write a story and to just reword it that Juan Soto's a free agent at the end of the year.
I mean, that's just what the Mets. That's just what the Mets do, man. That's kind of how things operate.
We'll get to that.
Well, I'm saying just in general, the storylines that are usually connected to the Mets are very much also tied to the Yankees.
Well, the Met fan base is one thing, but the stories every day coming out of camp. Oh, Juan Soto. I had heard somebody say he looks miserable as a Yankee. Yeah, he can. Smiling is
look at
usually
his look at his Instagram page. It's just pinstripes everywhere.
smiling is usually a sign of misery, right, guys?
Hitting
Usually-
fucking bombs over the left center field wall
Yeah,
and
miserable.
drilling the scoreboard looks miserable.
It's a hit with Aaron Judge behind him. He's miserable.
Yeah, miserable. You know how many times the word fun comes out of Juan Soto's mouth when he does an interview? Too many. Too many. This dude is here to fucking kill it. This dude is so excited to be in a lineup in front of Aaron Judge. Can you imagine anyone not being excited and happy to hit in a lineup in front of Aaron Judge?
It's
Find me that man.
why is this the offseason story? Like the season hasn't even started yet. Are Mets writers and fans, are they just giving up on this season completely already? Like this
Well, I
is a
mean,
storyline
Harrison
for
Bader's been there.
June or July. Like this is when your season's over in June. That's when you can, start these storylines, not in March.
To be
We're not
fair,
even in
dude.
March.
To be fair, dude,
Leap
they
year.
just lost their ace, and Harrison Bader's been their big
Yeah.
pickup. So
It's fair.
their season is pretty much over at this point already. So I pity them.
Let me say this. When you, as a fan base, are hanging on Randy Miller's every word, you are a pathetic fan base. Randy Miller earlier this week wrote an article that said that Juan Soto, I couldn't whistle there. I tried. I'm sorry. Out the door, and he's going to the Mets in
Yeah.
2025.
Okay.
Good.
Okay, cool. You had it first, Randy.
Good. Hopefully he'll be over there with a ring on his finger.
Rich Squires with the super chat again. All this press going on with Soto brings me back to Reggie in 77. Okay. So you're even older than me. Okay.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, bro. Randy Miller would have bet his life and wrote basically as much that there was no chance in hell Aaron Judge was coming back to the Yankees. Really credible, buddy.
Yeah.
That's
Loser.
the guy. That's the guy you're hanging your hat on. You're like, Randy Miller said that Juan Soto. Listen to me. This might come back to bite me in the ass in a few months here. There is no chance in hell that Juan Soto is going to spend the year in the Bronx playing with Aaron Judge and then look at it himself and go, I want to be a Met.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys are fucking pathetic. Pathetic. And I'm going to tell you why that you're pathetic. And I feel bad for you. I really, really do. From the bottom of my heart, I feel bad for you because I know some good Met fans and I know that they really wanted this and it's just not happening for you guys. But you guys, I feel bad for you because for the first time probably since 1986, you guys were walking around feeling like you were the kings of the world, that this baseball town was yours. Stevie Cohen and his money. We're gonna take over New York. The Yankees are gonna be our little brothers. And you went out and you signed a couple of 45-year-old pitchers. And what happened? You had to fucking break the team down a year and a half into your whole big Stevie Cohen, King Cohen era. Okay. You had to break the team down a year and a half in. And now you're looking at a situation where your big pickups are our trash, okay? Literally, you went dumpster diving outside of 161st and River Avenue. Those were your big pickups this year. Luis Severino, and I hate saying this because I love Sevy, trash. Yankee trash because the guy was hurt. Enjoy those 18 starts. Maybe he'll pitch to an under 60 ERA this year. I don't know if I would bet on it, though. Your other big pickup, Harrison Bader. Wow, guys. Harrison Bader.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Love the 660 OPS at 95 games is really going to win you an NL East, guys. Really going to do it.
I'm ashamed of this, but I almost got into a fist fight with an 86-year-old man.
Oh my God.
The other day,
Pedro Martinez.
my wife's grandfather was over the house the other day, and he just looked at me out of nowhere. And thank God he doesn't have his new hearing aids yet, so he couldn't hear me.
Mm-hmm.
For what I said back, but he looked at me and goes, why the fuck would they get rid of Bader, man? That was such a stupid move. And he turned his head and I was like, what are you, a fucking idiot? And he just didn't hear me. And I walked out of the room at that point. But yeah, he was really bent out of shape about
Punch on the pop.
punch on the pop. Yeah, I'm ashamed of it, but at the same time, he deserved anything that was
I
coming his
wouldn't
way.
honestly. The beginning of that story, I was like, "Wow, Chris, that's kind of messed up." But by the end, I'm like, "Why didn't you
Right.
clock him one?"
Should have clocked him. Just a quick reminder to anyone who wasn't with us at the top of the show, we are now the exclusive Yankee podcast of Odyssey. So if you get a second, we're going to have some extra episodes throughout the season that will not be live on NYYU, that you'll get on any audio platform that you do listen to. So if you could take a second and subscribe to on any platform that you listen to the show, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We actually have a pretty big following on iHeartRadio, the iHeartRadio app still. Maybe Odyssey, you listen to podcasts or shows. So just drop us a follow or subscribe to the show on there so that you get our extra content.
So, Met fans, when you go to bed tonight, think of this, right? Think of the Wolverine meme where he's holding the picture in his hand. And that's your Photoshop of Juan Soto in a Met jersey. Because that's your dream, that's your hope, that's your fantasy, and that's all it's going to be. That's all it's going to be, okay?
Right.
Because you guys are fucking pathetic. That the fact of the matter is that you thought you were the big bad dogs in the room. You were going to be the big bad wolf puffing your chest out, and Juan Soto's a Yankee. You're pathetic, and I feel sorry for you, okay?
Wow.
Okay.
So when Juan Soto
Yeah.
wins an MVP for the Yankees this year, just remember, he's not going to be a Met, okay? He's not going to be a Met.
Okay.
Okay.
The only way he will be a Met.
What?
Notice how I didn't say anything?
We have a voicemail, by the way.
All right. Before we get to the voicemail, let's go back to Ross Super
Yeah,
Chat.
I was gonna
It
bring
was
that up.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
It
that.
So
was
it
who-
was in
it
order
was
of
Ro-
importance. Who has Christian? Who has the most pressure on them this year? Boone, Volpe, or Rhodon?
Okay, so
Define
Let's st-
pressure. What do we mean by pressure?
let's just start here. Boone is playing with house money at this point.
Is
he
he? He doesn't
shouldn't-
have a contract next year.
Yeah, I know that, but he shouldn't be here to begin with, right? It's really
And he definitely won't be here if they don't win this year.
okay, but it's going to be all or nothing anyway. Like for me, it's Boone's going to continue to do what he's always done. He knows there's only so much control he has. So for me, as much as I'd put Boone at number 2 here, he's out for me. He's not number 1.
I think by process of elimination, it's Carlos Rhodon.
Yes. That's what I was getting at. Right? Volpe, they've committed. Should he have some pressure? Sure. He can't.
But what's the pressure on Rodon?
He has to
Well,
live up to
Because
that
you
contract.
just said
I mean,
right,
hold
but
on.
who cares if he lives up to it? Like you just said with Volpe, they committed. They committed to Rodon. Who cares if he sucks?
Okay, so that's a good point. We have to assume that these players are here, and I think it's an easy assumption. They're here to win. They're not here to be selfish. They're here to win, and especially a guy like Rhodon who's very competitive. Now, there is pressure on Volpe, of course, for multiple reasons. He does have to perform because they haven't committed that much where, like we said last week, if he's batting, 215 at the All-Star break, the Yankees have to start asking some really tough questions.
Mm-hmm.
But this lineup is so stacked that if Volpe's batting 215, that shouldn't be what stops them from winning a World Series. Now, we go back to that original thing I said, that we have to assume these guys, all they care about is winning right now. If Rhodon is shitting the bed like he did last year, I'm sorry. I don't think this team has a chance to go anywhere. If they're not going to, assuming, yeah, of course they're probably going to get a pitcher at the deadline, but let's just call it for what it is right now. The way this team's constructed right now, if Carlos Rhodon gives us a repeat of what we got last year, even if he stays healthy, but he's still just off the walls terrible. This team does not have a shot at winning anything.
If you want, yeah, okay. The contract, he's still going to get paid on whatever. Professional pride in terms of pressure for this team to win, it's Rhodon. The Yankees need Rhodon to be the dominant number 2 co-ace. That they expect it. That the pressure is on for him. If Anthony Volpe hits 215, yeah, it sucks. He's probably still going to be the shortstop, and it shouldn't derail the Yankees from winning a World Series.
Right.
Aaron Boone, I would slot him number 2 because he is managing for his job. If this team falls short, if he embarrasses himself in the postseason again, he's not coming back.
Right.
Because at that point, no matter how much Cashman likes him, he's going to have to give Hal a pound of flesh, and it's going to be Aaron Boone.
Right. And that's why I think Aaron Boone actually has the most pressure on him this year, because of what can happen next year if he has another mediocre season. Because if you compare those 3, who is the most likely to have their job next season if it's a repeat?
Well,
Who's most likely?
I would say Rhodon is the most likely, but go ahead, go and finish your point.
No, that's just my point of how I would define pressure in this instance is who's under pressure to stay relevant, to stay a part of this organization, and to be a contributor. And for me, that pressure of those 3 is the least on Carlos Rhodon, because no matter how he performs this year, he's still going to be in this rotation next year. He's still going to have the contract. I get the pride factor, sure, but he's still going to, if he sucks this year, he's going to come out with that same mentality of trying to prove himself in pinstripe. So I just, where if Volpe struggles, they're probably going to roll him back out there, but you never know. You might go to a different route. And then if Boone struggles like that again this year and they miss the playoffs, he's gone. He's out of a job. So what is pressure then in this case? Is it an ego pressure? Is it a job pressure? Is it a livelihood thing? Because then if that's the case, then Aaron Boone is the clear front runner of those 3 who has the most pressure on him, because he's not going to be here if they suck.
All right, before I get to my counterpoint here, which you're making an excellent point. I don't want you. Excellent
Okay.
point. I really
Okay.
agree. I agree with it in
Okay.
a lot of ways. But
Thank
let's
you.
get to the super chat from
Okay.
Gold Diggers on Poor. Okay.
Okay.
Jesus.
I need Soto to homer against the Mets to shut them up. Then again, Met fans will probably be more hyped.
He's
Yeah,
letting the
like,
gold,
I
he's let-
can't wait to see that. In
Yeah.
Mets.
He's letting the gold diggers know he's poor.
Gold diggers on poor, help him out.
Ryan, you really, you really hit the nail on the head there. There's very excellent analysis and way to break it down. It is.
Okay.
But in terms of, I'll put it to you like this. Who do the Yankees need the most in order to win a World Series this year?
Rhodon.
So it's more of a fan and front office pressure of
Right, which is
wanting
why
to-
I just want to know the
Yes.
definition of
So
pressure. in
I'll
this
make
case.
one counterpoint. Are you done with your counterpoint?
Yes, that's all. I
Very
wanted to say.
simple and very
Great counter, by the
effective counter. But I'll make a counterpoint on a more personal level with each person. Here's the only counter I can make to you. There's only so much Boone can do, right? There's only so much. If it gets to a point where this team is dead, and it's mainly because the players just aren't performing or guys are getting hurt, yeah, maybe Boone's making some dumb calls, but it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter if it's Boone or if it's the players. His job is on the line regardless. So there's going to get to a point where Boone knows this. And when you know there's something that's just out of your control at that point, you almost start to just get relieved of it as it's happening. Whereas Rhodon, if he's out there every single day, he's continuously feeling pressure to be better, to work harder, to be more effective. He has that in his control. And so that's the only thing. And I know that you're thinking, yeah, he's going to be here next year. It's a great point. And of course, but I'd like to at least, even if it's me being naive, think that these guys are also right now not thinking about where they're going to be next year and only thinking about how they can help this team win a World Series. So for me, that's where I say Rhodon. And we do have another super chat. Our boy David Douglas said, crazy part is I don't see Boone going anywhere. Let me tell you something, dude.
Me neither, honestly.
Let me tell you something.
None of them have
The
pressure.
Yankees failed this year. and they still bring Boone back after his contract's up and give him another one, that's a different discussion for a different day because it's going to take a full 2-hour episode for me to go over all of what
Okay, we
I
got
feel.
JC with the member chat. He says Boone versus Pete steel cage match.
It wouldn't even be fair, dude.
No.
It
I
wouldn't
don't-
even be fair.
I don't
Set
know,
it
man.
up.
Let Boone have brass knuckles.
What
and
what
then it
it,
would be
you know, the
fair.
door on the cage would shut. Pete's ready to lock up, and Boone goes, "Shake it off, shake it off," and Pete's just gonna die of laughter. Boone's gonna hit him with a fucking forearm shot. Pete's gonna be just like one,
Hold on though.
2, 3.
Pete starts laughing. Boone stops the fight because he's being bullied by his opponent.
But he's not
And that
being.
gets
I don't know. I think he.
well.
I,
If Pete's laughing at him in his
Always
face,
for Boone.
he doesn't like.
Does
doesn't
his
like it.
walkout song Umbrella?
It's Umbrella, and then when he gets in the cage, it's goes
See,
right to T
but
Swift.
he's got to pick a lane here. He can't sing Umbrella and then tell everybody that he's stalking Taylor Swift.
Right.
Pick a
Right,
lane
yeah.
here, pal.
Right, pick a lane.
Get a genre, get an artist, get attached.
Pick a lane.
Okay. So we have a voicemail or two on here.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Let's get
Okay.
to that.
Okay.
Yeah, what up, fellas? How you doing? It's the one and only Philly neighborhood DJ Celio calling in again. What's up, guys?
Sweet.
What's up? Can't wait to see you guys on 420, man. It's gonna be a freaking movie, that's for sure. And Chris, don't worry. If you need another douche whistle, I got you, bro. I got you. I got connections, so you're all good, man. You're all good. I got you. Anyways, I got nothing else to say. I'm just calling in to leave a little friendly dad joke because that's what I do. I'm here to lighten up the mood. What did the midget tell me? What did I tell the midget when she wanted me to bang her?
So we're gonna have to block this out.
No.
I don't get down like that. All right, guys. Peace.
No, it's not defamatory at all. That's a great joke. I love it.
We are going to start banging.
It's our first week.
It's okay.
got-
Hey,
and we got
this
a
is
little-
this is what Odyssey wanted.
I mean, this is what they signed up for, right?
Can we peel the curtain back real quick and just
Little people jokes.
can I just tell them what the discussion was between you and the producer at Odyssey
What discussion?
about Giancarlo Stanton?
Oh yeah.
So our biggest thing, other than it being okay, we stay on NYYU, of course, was that we are clearly not politically correct. We don't give a shit what we say. That's always been our strength here. We don't really care if you like it or not. If you're offended, great, good for you. And so that's always been, whenever we've had talks with partnerships and stuff, it's always been a big concern. Is the content still ours? Do you need us to change? Because I don't know if we can commit to that. So they were kind of going on and made it clear, right? We could really say we don't have to change at all. Pretty much any guidelines they gave us were things we're not going to do anyway. And we never have. But Christian explicitly, when he was unsure, said to the guy, he goes, "So wait, let me just give you a scenario. Giancarlo Stanton strikes out 4 times in a game. I can't call him a piece of garbage." And he goes, no. The guy literally had to go, no. You can call him a piece of garbage. That's fine. And then he went on to give us the guidelines of whatnot. So we can call players pieces of garbage. And yeah, I mean, nothing should change.
Nope. So yeah, man, it's exciting times ahead here for the NYYST podcast. Like we said, the official Odyssey Yankee podcast. That's us now. Okay.
Oh, hey.
And again, it's all because of you guys. It's all because of Pete's hard work and his belief in us. So again, thank you to Pete. Thank you to this community here of NYYU and all our OG fans out there that have been with us since day one, since pre NYYU days. So I want to thank everybody, man. We're super excited. And Pete's gonna have some big news coming soon for the channel itself, man. Telling you, bro. Not even Doug Heffernan himself can stop NYYU. Okay, not even Doug
The
Heffernan.
king of queens.
He can't. That's an inside joke for everybody in the NYYU group chat. Not even Doug Heffernan can stop NYYU. Okay, no meatballs are coming around here stopping NYYU. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
cracking myself up over here, but it's fun.
Okay.
People,
Okay.
there's
Little laugh
people.
track there. Okay.
Listen, I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, man. Go watch any other Yankee podcast. Go watch any other Yankee channel. Go look at their lineup. Go look at their talent. Then look at us. Look at us three guys. Look at the team here at NYYU, and tell me where you'd rather get your Yankee news and content from. Tell me who you'd rather listen to. Tell me who's gonna entertain you more. Who you're gonna have a good time listening to. And if if you cannot answer at least one show on this channel, then you're a jabroni and you're a hack.
Okay.
Okay. Jabroni.
Okay.
You ride a Zamboni because you're a jabroni. Okay.
Okay.
You know, when a little leaguer
You eat
hits a,
bologna.
if we're-
Okay. Because you're a jabroni. Okay.
if we're watching a little league World Series game and a 12-year-old hits a home run, the only thing we're going to talk about regarding that 12-year-old is the home run that he hit. Okay, I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
And we're not looking like we're ready to fall asleep while we're recording here.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're getting to that line. But listen.
The line is here. I'm right here. Okay.
Okay. Listen, we got a quick super chat from Crackle Nuts. I'm going to call you Crackle D's Nuts. It says, "What up, fellas? Would you let Aaron Boone cut you in line if he was in a rush?" Great show. Absolutely not. I don't like
What kind of
cucks.
question is that?
I don't like cucks.
You know, like
coming in.
cuts or cucks. But nah, I might let him cut me.
For a 15-minute exclusive interview, no holds barred, I'd do it.
Absolutely. That's a great point, dude. You're thinking like a real professional. I just want to put this out there real quick before we wrap up. Imagine if Mike was still on WFAN and he had a show and they had to cut to an advertisement of our show, and it was just SGR doing Francesa, and he could hear it in his
What was
headset.
What was that? That sounds nothing like me. He sounds nothing like me. Okay.
Well, that's why he hates Giannotti.
That's what he did. That's what he did to Gina.
So I'd understand if it sounded like me. It sounds nothing like me. Okay. I don't talk like that. Okay. I don't do that. Okay.
So
don't say okay after every word. Okay.
So tomorrow, stay locked in here on NYYU because Pete's going to have game season live. And then following the game, Mario and Kevin will be with Bronx or nothing. So definitely stay tuned, locked in to NYYU. Hit the like button for our show right now. Subscribe to the channel. Again, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, make sure you subscribe to the show there. Make sure you tell everybody that the fellas are now on Odyssey. We're the official Yankee podcast of Odyssey, the parent company of WFAN. They came to us. Okay.
Okay.
So again, we want to thank everybody, man. Your support means the world to us, and we wouldn't have been afforded this opportunity without it. So we want to once again thank everybody for making this happen. So big things coming in the future. For us, for NYYU, man, I say it because I believe it. We are the premier destination for Yankees news and content, man. You're not going to get it anywhere else like you get it here.
Nope.
So I'm fucking pumped, man. I'm so excited.
I'm really into it.
And I say it too, man. Part of it is because there's this breath of fresh air around the team right now. There's a sense of excitement around the team that we haven't felt right now. And I feel like we are literally this close to the roof blowing off this fucking thing.
Let's do it.
I agree, dude.
So unless you guys got anything else you want to say, let's take it home.
Let's do it.
So we want to thank everybody for their continued support of NYYST and NYY Underground. We want to thank everybody for listening and watching episode 370 SGR.
Go Yanks.
Chris, say goodbye.
Peace.
It's heavy. famous love. Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the most selfish person that I know. Here we go down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me though. Cycles going round and round and round like a merry-go. Stand for truth, or fall for any old scenario. That's why I keep my circle smaller than a Cheerio. Cause it's the company you keep. Stay woke, please don't get caught sleep. End up sowing what you reap. Know your worth, and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me, can't take it out of me. No matter where I've been.